Department of Statistics in collaboration with IQAC TDB College to mark the birth anniversary of late Prasanta Chandra Mahalanobis. In recognition of his valuable contribution in the field of official statistics and to popularize the use of statistics in everyday life. Without further delay, let me invite first our student Tirna Mojumdar of English Department. She will sing a beautiful song. তীর্ণা আমাদের উদ্বোধনী সঙ্গীত গেয়ে শোনাবে। প্লিজ তীর্ণা, তুমি গান শুরু করো।
প্রাণ ভরিয়ে তৃষা হরিয়ে মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ ভরিয়ে তৃষা হরিয়ে মোরে আরো 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 দাও তবু ভুবনে তবু ভবনে মোরে আরো 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 দাও স্থান মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ প্রাণ ভরিয়ে তৃষা হরিয়ে মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ আরো আলো আরো আলো এই নয়নে প্রভু ঢালো আরো আলো আরো আলো এই নয়নে প্রভু ঢালো সুরে সুরে বাঁশি পুরে তুমি আরো 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 দাও তান মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ প্রাণ ভরিয়ে তৃষা হরিয়ে মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ আরো বেদনা প্রভু দাও মোরে আরো চেতনা দ্বার ছুটাই বাধা টুটাই মোরে করো ত্রাণ আরো বেদনা প্রভু দাও মোরে আরো চেতনা দ্বার ছুটাই বাধা টুটাই মোরে করো ত্রাণ আরো প্রেমে মোর আমি ডুবে যাক নেমে আরো প্রেমে মোর আমি ডুবে যাক নেমে সুধা ধারে আপনারে তুমি আরো 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 করো দান মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ প্রাণ ভরিয়ে তৃষা হরিয়ে মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ তবু ভুবনে তবু ভবনে মোরে আরো 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 দাও স্থান মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ প্রাণ ভরিয়ে তৃষা হরিয়ে মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ।
খুব ভালো হয়েছে, খুব ভালো হয়েছে, খুব সুন্দর।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার,
খুব ভালো।
Thank you, Tina. Thank you very much. Now let me invite Professor Orunabha Bandyopadhyay, Associate Professor of Physiology, to deliver the welcome address. Please, sir, we are waiting for your valuable speech.
Good evening to all present here. I hereby welcome each one of you for joining the National Statistics Day celebration and webinar on glimpses on the life and work of Professor C.R. Rao, organized by Department of Statistics in collaboration with Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Triveni Devi Bhalotia College. The Government of India has been celebrating the National Statistics Day every year on 29th June. The National Statistics Day marks the birth anniversary of late Professor Prasanta Chandra Mahalanobis and is an acknowledgement of his contribution to national statistics system. He was one of the member of Planning Commission of India, and is popular for his key contribution, Mahalanobis distance. The formula is used to find the distance between a point and a distribution based on measurement in multiple dimensions. Professor Mahalanobis, the father of Indian statistics, not only established National Sample Survey in 1950, but was also the founder of Indian Statistical Institute. The day is also celebrated to popularize and spread awareness among the masses about the importance of statistics in daily life. It also emphasizes on the importance of statistics in formulation of national policies. The theme for this year's National Statistics Day is Sustainable Development Goal 2, end hunger, achieve food security, and improved nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture, which is an issue of national importance. I bid a warm to the Honorable Speaker of the webinar, Bimal Kumar Sinha, Presidential Research Professor, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, United States of America. We are honored to have you amongst us, sir, Professor Sinha. I also welcome Professor Yenu Kiffel for assisting him. Welcome to Professor Kiffel. I'm sure that you all will feel enriched with knowledge after completion of this webinar. I welcome you all once again to the seminar and hope that you all will have a great time ahead. Thank you, Professor Sinha and Professor Kiffel, and all of you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Now let me invite Dr. Padmaja Pal, Associate Professor, Statistics Department, Raniganj TDB College. আমাদের সবার রেসপেক্টেড ম্যাডাম, আমাদের স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স ডিপার্টমেন্টের প্রাণ ভোমরা, যাকে ছাড়া আমরা স্ট্যাট ডিপার্টমেন্টের কথা ভাবতেই পারি না। Now she will say a few words about Professor Prasanta Chandra Mahalanobis. Madam, please কিছু বলুন। Madam? Madam?
ম্যাডাম মাইক্রোফোন অফ আছে। মাইক্রোফোন অন করুন।
হ্যাঁ?
আপনার মাইক্রোফোন অফ করা আছে।
ও ম্যাডাম, আপনার মাইক্রোফোন অফ।
স্যার, আমি আপনার কাইন্ড পারমিশন নিয়ে বলবো। এখানে আমি বাংলাতে বলবো না ইংলিশে? অ্যাকচুয়ালি প্রফেসর কিফলেও আছেন না।
শিওর, ইংলিশ ফাইন।
বাংলাতে বলবো না ইংলিশ?
doesn't matter, বলো তোমার যেটা সুবিধা বলো।
আমি মিশিয়েই বলি তাহলে।
ওকে, সেটা ভালো হবে।
Due respect to all teachers and statisticians present here, especially my respected teacher, Professor Bimal Kumar Sinha, and also Professor Kifle, who has very kindly consented to attend our webinar with Professor Sinha. And dear students, I would like to say a few words about our father of statistics, Professor Prasanta Chandra Mahalanobis, on his 128th birth anniversary. When we were students in Indian Statistical Institute, the word professor was synonymous with Professor Prasanta Chandra Mahalanobis. And we used to hear stories about the professor from our teachers, which made us full of wonder. In fact, we were slightly envious of the teachers who studied there during the professor's time. In statistics, we all know that the subject statistics deals with numerical data, which arise in different spheres of human experience and are the result of a number of uncontrollable and often unknown causes acting together. Perhaps it was such an event that drew Professor Prasanta Chandra Mahalanobis, who was a student of physics, to the subject statistics. He was ready to board a ship back to India after completing his education in Cambridge, when he learned that for various causes the ship was delayed. So to utilize this time, he went to King's College, Cambridge, and there he browsed through books in science and technology. Seeing his interest, a tutor of the college drew his attention to the Journal of Statistics, Biometrica. Before boarding the ship, the professor bought a set of volumes of Biometrica, and the rest is history. The legendary professor, it was because of the legendary professor that statistics was recognized as a subject, as a separate subject in India. The contributions of the professor cannot be covered in a few words. His greatest contribution is the Indian Statistical Institute, where academic courses and research in different sciences are well received all over the world. The professor set up different institutions, keeping the welfare of the people of India in mind. He felt that a rich data bank was necessary for the development of the country. So he set up the National Statistical Organization in 1950. In 1951, the CSO was set up, and then followed the state statistical bureaus. Thus, Professor Mahalanobis set up the national statistical system in India. Many developed and developing countries followed his example. In the professor's endeavor to set up the statistical institutions in India, especially Indian Statistical Institute, he had with him a group of very talented young statisticians who later became legends in themselves. We can say that one of the most notable amongst them is Professor C. Radhakrishna Rao, who celebrated his centenary year last year, and about whose life and work my most esteemed teacher, Professor Sinha, is going to talk to us. So please.
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
আচ্ছা, আমরা আজ এমন একটা সাবজেক্ট বা বিষয় দিবস পালন করছি যা আমাদের জীবনের সঙ্গে ওতপ্রোতভাবে জড়িত। সেই ছোটবেলায় মা যখন ভাতের হাঁড়ি থেকে দুটো চাল নিয়ে দেখতো ভাতটা সেদ্ধ হয়েছে কিনা, থরিয়ে জানতাম তার সঙ্গে স্যাম্পলিং বলে কোনো একটা ওয়ার্ড যুক্ত হয়ে আছে। ছোটবেলায় যখন মন দিয়ে লুডো খেলতাম, কখনো ভেবেছি এই লুডোর ছক্কাটা একদিন পরীক্ষার খাতায় নাম্বার তুলতে জীবন বার করে দেবে? একবারও ভাবিনি। ছোটবেলায় কত রকম গাছ দেখেছি, আম গাছ দেখেছি, জাম গাছ দেখেছি, নিম গাছ দেখেছি। আম গাছের একরকম পাতা, জাম গাছের একরকম পাতা, আবার নিম গাছের অন্যরকম পাতা। নিম গাছের সব পাতাই একরকম দেখতে, কিন্তু যদি খুঁটিয়ে দেখি তাহলে প্রত্যেকটা পাতাই আলাদা, ইউনিক। অর্থাৎ প্রকৃতির মধ্যেও একরকম র্যান্ডাম থেকে ডিটারমিনিস্টিক তৈরির খেলা অনবরত চলছে। আবার সেই যদি আদিকালে চলে যাই, যখন মানুষ শিকার করে খেত, পাহাড়ি নদীর ধারে দাঁড়িয়ে বল্লম দিয়ে গেঁথে মাছ শিকার করে খেত। আবার কিছুদিন পর সেই মানুষই জাল আবিষ্কার করলো, জালে করে মাছ ধরে খেলো। কোথায় যেন এই ব্যাপারগুলোর সাথে সাদৃশ্য পাওয়া যায় পয়েন্ট এস্টিমেশন, ইন্টারভাল এস্টিমেশন, অর্থাৎ দ্বিতীয়বারে একটা জাল মাছ ধরার সম্ভাবনা একটু হলেও বেশি। আমরা সাধারণ মানুষেরা এই জিনিসগুলো ঠিক বুঝি না বা কোরিলেট করে উঠতে পারি না, কিন্তু এই বিষয় বা সাবজেক্টটা চিরকালই আমাদের সঙ্গে ছিল, আছে এবং থাকবে। আবার সেই কোন পুরাকালে রামায়ণ মহাভারতের সময়, সেই সময় থেকে কিছু মানুষ তাস পাশা জুয়া খেলায় ব্যস্ত থাকলেন। পরবর্তীকালে এলো ক্যাসিনোতেও মানুষ জুয়া খেলতে লাগলো। কেউ বা দিনের পর দিন জিতলো, কেউ বা দিনের পর দিন হারলো, যদিও হারার সংখ্যাটাই বেশি। কিন্তু হেরে যাওয়া মানুষগুলো কি সহজে মেনে নেবে? তারাও বললো না, নিশ্চয়ই কোনো গন্ডগোল আছে, ক্যাসিনোর ওই যন্ত্রপাতিগুলোতে নিশ্চয়ই কোনো বায়াসনেস আছে, নিশ্চয়ই কোনো কারচুপি আছে। লেগে গেল বিশাল তর্ক। আর এই তর্ক থেকেই একদিন হঠাৎ যেন কি করে আমাদের জীবনে প্রবাবিলিটি, টেস্টিং অফ হাইপোথিসিস, ক্রিটিক্যাল রিজিয়ন নামক কঠিন কঠিন শব্দ আমাদের জীবনে চলে এলো। অর্থাৎ কি না, এক দল জুয়া খেলে মজা করলো আর অন্য দল তার সাফারার হলো। কারা সাফারার হলো? যারা জুয়া খেলে সর্বশান্ত হয়েছে তারা? ঘন্টা, তারা না। তাদের থেকেও সাংঘাতিক অবস্থা যে স্টুডেন্টগুলো পরীক্ষার হলে প্রবাবিলিটির অঙ্ক করতে গিয়ে ঘেমে নিয়ে একাকার হয়ে যায়, তাদেরকেই মেন সাফারার হতে হলো। যাই হোক, এটা তো নয় মজার কথা, কিন্তু আজ আমরা যে সাংঘাতিক সিচুয়েশনের মধ্যে দিয়ে যাচ্ছি, যে কঠিন পরিস্থিতির মধ্যে দিয়ে যাচ্ছি, এই যে কোভিডের থার্ড ওয়েভ আসবে কি আসবে না, এলেও তার তীব্রতা কত হবে, সমস্ত কিছুর সঙ্গে এই বিষয়টা যুক্ত হয়ে আছে। অর্থাৎ আমাদের জন্ম থেকে মৃত্যু, প্রকৃতির আদি থেকে অন্ত, সব কিছুর সঙ্গেই এই সাবজেক্টটা ওতপ্রোতভাবে যুক্ত হয়ে আছে। আমরা সবাই, আমাদের পৃথিবী, হয়তোবা হোল ইউনিভার্স সর্বদা এক স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্যাল রেগুলারিটির খেলায় মত্ত হয়ে আছে। এই সাবজেক্টের সঙ্গে বড় হলেও আমার মতন অধিকাংশ ব্যক্তি এই সাবজেক্ট সম্বন্ধে তেমন কিছু জানেন না। আবার কিছু মুষ্টিমেয় মানুষ আছেন যারা রীতিমতন এই সাবজেক্ট নিয়ে তপস্যা করেছেন, যারা এই সাবজেক্টে জ্ঞানী হয়ে উঠেছেন। এই রকমই একজন মানুষ আজ আমাদের সঙ্গে আছেন। তিনি হলেন এই সাবজেক্টেরই একজন জ্ঞানী নয়, মহাজ্ঞানী মানুষ। তিনি হলেন প্রফেসর বিমল কুমার সিনহা। আজ আমরা স্যারের কাছে অনেক গল্প শুনবো, গল্প শুনবো আর এক মহাজ্ঞানীর, যিনি কিনা, যাকে কিনা বলা হয় লেজেন্ড বা লিভিং লেজেন্ড অফ স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স। আমরা সেই প্রফেসর সিআর রাওয়ের গল্প আজ স্যারের কাছে শুনবো। আমরা অধীর আগ্রহে বসে রয়েছি স্যারের কাছে এইসব গল্প আমরা কখন শুনবো। স্যারের সম্বন্ধে কিছু বলতে গেলে তা শেষ করা যাবে না, তবু দু চারটে লাইন বলার আমি চেষ্টা করছি। Professor Sinha is the founder of the Statistics Graduate Program of UMBC. He is a 1973 PhD in Statistics from the University of Calcutta. He is an ex-faculty of the Indian Statistical Institute and the University of Pittsburgh. He is a fellow of the American Statistical Association and the Institute of Mathematical Statistics, and an elected member of the International Statistical Institute. Professor Sinha's research contribution in the area of environmental statistics has been recognized through a Distinguished Achievement Award from the Environmental Statistics section of the American Statistical Association. He was named a Presidential Research Professor in 2008. Furthermore, he received the University System of Maryland Board of Regents Excellence in Research Award in 2012. He has mentored over 30 PhD students. Sir, আমরা অধীর আগ্রহে বসে রয়েছি আপনি কি বলবেন আপনার গল্প শুনবো বলে প্লিজ স্যার
রাজশ্রী খুব সুন্দর ইন্ট্রোডাকশন দিলে, খুব সুন্দর বেশ জমিয়ে গল্প করেই বললে, ভালো লাগলো। কেমন
আশীর্বাদ করুন স্যার
নিশ্চয়ই এবার আরম্ভ করবো।
হ্যাঁ স্যার আপনার গল্পের জন্যই বসে আছি
ওকে, আমার প্রথমেই বলি মাই sincere thanks to the college, the principal for the kind invitation, to my former very dear student Dr. Padmaja Pal, and now of course I know Moloy and Rajashree. Thank you all so much. Okay, I also thank all the students for being here. I hope we will have good 1 hour nice time, and I certainly thank my colleague, UMBC colleague Dr. Kifle, who is going to assist us the slides. So Dr. Kifle, you can put on the first slide, please. Good, very nice. Thank you. So as you all know, today's National Statistics Day. Actually, we can also call it an International Statistics Day. We should. Current PCM, he was known as the professor at ISI. That's how he was referred to. Not only the founder of statistics in India and the founder of the Indian Statistical Institute. That is really the starting point of statistics, we can say in some sense, probably for like a global idea, so you can call it international statistics rather than national. Certainly it's true for us, all of us, for Indian statisticians, but I think it is also true internationally or globally. So born on January 29, 1893, and when I looked at the year 1893, does it ring a bell? 1893, Swamiji Chicagote এসেছিলেন 1893. That's the right. Look at the connection, huh? Beautiful. So a baby was just born on that day, who was going to become PCM much later. A baby was born on the day when Swamiji was at his peak at a World Congress Religion in the city of Chicago. What a nice person. Anyway, and I joined the Indian Statistical Institute in 1971 as a faculty. So I met PCM a few times. Of course, by then he was quite old. So it's a very nice story about the life of PCM himself. Not only he was the founder of the Indian Statistical Institute, certainly is a father figure for all of us. A lot of contributions in the survey, on the theoretical side, multivariate analysis, including long-range distance, and also, I think as Rajashree pointed out, also for drawing, or maybe Padmaja did, for drawing so many bright mathematicians, was able to draw so many of them to the Indian Statistical Institute. So by training a physicist, PCM Padmaja narrated briefly. So he was a visionary. He could see, maybe by it's a random event also, that he missed one of the connections. So anyway, it's a random event, but he could see that, yes, statistics is going to be something very useful for the country, in fact, for any country. As he could see that, So on his return to India, he of course he brought with him some books, and then he read, and he could see the connection, and he immediately, back in 1925, long time back, invited fishers to India. There was no ISI then. She invited Fisher to India to visit him at the Becker Laboratory in Presidency College, Becker Lab. Over Fisher came in 1925. India, and that's how India as a country got the route to go ahead with stat discipline. The rest of the world, US started much later. I mean, US now, this country started after the Second World War. Dr. Kipling, I don't need, in case you don't know that. So in the USA, statistics started much later. So in India, we had a head start. 1925. And then, of course, ISI came into existence in 1931, a few years later. So PCM was able to buy a huge piece of land, Mononogo, north of Calcutta, North Calcutta, by the way. It was you can see back then it was a village, a huge piece of land, his own house, residence, Amropali, plus the institute, ISI. The whole thing started in 1931, and he was able to, and statistics was being, like kind of training, and then slowly developing curriculum and all that. 10 years later, 1941, first postgraduate degree in statistics in India and probably in the Indian subcontinent. So other than England, so that was the first statistics postgraduate from 1940. Teachers back then were S.N. Bose, S.N. Roy, R.C. Bose, Rajchandra Bose, Somarendranath Rai, among others. So they are the teachers, and they are all trained by PCM himself. Of course, they are genius in their own right. প্রচন্ড অঙ্কে ভালো ছিলেন। Back then, no book, no textbook, nothing. It's all self-taught. You think of a problem, you formulate the problem, you come up with your own theorem, own proof, everything. এখন তো আমাদের কত বই কত রেসিপি আমাদের আছে। Back then, the subject was just being developed. So there's nothing. So multivariate analysis, object is there. How do you do? So all the different ideas that to develop. Sarsi Bose, S.N. Roy, among others, they started. And they are the faculty initially in 1941 when the postgraduate class started. They are the faculty. And of course, they are very close to Mahalanobis. So 1941 postgraduate school started as a part of Calcutta University. It's under the University of Calcutta. ISI was there. ISI was in existence, but no degree course. That started much later, only in the 1960s, early 60s. That's when Indian Statistical Institute started to offer master's, PhD, undergraduate degree. So undergraduate are called Bade. It was only under the Calcutta University. Of course, professor was the head of the very first stat department. That was the beginning. And then, in the very first batch, 1941, came this super bright student, 2 of them. I think the class had about 15 students, First year MSc, statistics, Calcutta University. Who are these 2 super bright students? C.R. Rao, he had his master's in math from Andhra University. He was only about 20 years old. Dr. Rao was born in 1920, She was just about 20, 21. Can you believe that? 20-21 বছর বয়স. He had a master's degree in math. No job. Can you believe that? Master's degree in math, no job, no future, nothing. So what do? Somebody suggested, why don't you go to Calcutta? There's something called ISA is there. Maybe you might be able to get some sort of a job there. She came to Calcutta penniless, doesn't know anybody, doesn't speak Bengali. I know all these things. That's because, well, I'm sure many very close followers of CR Rao will know all these things. And I was very fortunate and blessed to be with Dr. Rao as a colleague at the University of Pittsburgh for about 6 years, 1980 to 1986. So at that time I left and I joined the university, 80 to 85, 79 to 85. Anyway, so Dr. Rao led as the first, the first batch ছাত্র হিসাবে এলেন. Actually, he came to Calcutta. I said to PCM কে বললেন যে I need some money, some job. Okay, what is your background? Background is in math. Okay, there's no math job here, but if you want to do some data analysis, PCM was very much interested in analyzing anthropometric measurements and all that. We have some data if you want to look at it. Gave him a small calculator, no computer, no this machine, nothing. Gave him a small, just some small paper and pencil. You can do something whatever you want to do, or you can get a little bit of money. So that's how Dr. Rao, a very, very humble beginning, in slowly got used to Calcutta life, learning Bengali slowly and all. That's how it started. Then he said, the one I also need. Then PCM told him that, well, we just started this program, Masters in Stat. If you want, you can be, you can join the program, or you can get in 2 years' time, you'll have a Masters in Stat. So Dr. Rao thought that, well, why not? I've been a Masters in Math, maybe another Masters in Stat. And after that, even no luck, maybe I'll have another Masters in Physics or whatever. Let me try a few masters before I get a real job. So Dr. Rao bhorti holen first year. Along with Dr. Rao came another giant, Horikinkar Nandi, my PhD advisor, my doctoral Adhyapak Horikinkar Nandi. So they were classmates. 1941, 2 years, 1943. Who taught them? S.N. Roy, R.C. Bose, among others. Maybe PCM also did. Professor also may have taught them. Maybe some samples. Anyway, so 1943. And what happened? The reason I want to talk to you today about C.R. Rao, this is the reason. So I'm giving the little background. So so immediately after the Second World War, like 1947, 1948, Prasanta Chandra Bose and Somendranath Roy, both of them left Calcutta, left India. So they came to Chapel Hill, University of North Carolina. We call it UNC Chapel Hill. So it was a big gain for Chapel Hill. They started the STAT program. Initially, there was some program, but they really, once they joined, it became a big hit for them. It was a big loss for India, big loss for the University of Calcutta, big loss for us. And we lost 2 giants. Somendranath Roy, father of multivariate analysis, and R.C. Bose, design of experiment. So দুজন giant lose করার ফলে, that's what I'm sure Professor was, I'm sure it was very sad, he was very upset. But he cannot help it. They have better opportunities, why not? He cannot stop them from going. So who filled up that gap? C.R. Rao. That's when Dr. Rao, that is how Dr. Rao came into limelight. Of course, he was an outstanding student. He was a gold medalist. Dr. Rao was number 1. My advisor, Horikinkar Nandi, was number 2 in MSc. And then right after their masters in 1943, দুজনেই ওনারা পড়ানো আরম্ভ করলেন। They were employed as lecturer in statistics, কলকাতা বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়। ওনারা পড়ানো আরম্ভ করলেন। And we know the story. C.R. Rao immediately in 1944, he came up with the idea of Rao-Cramer inequality, 1944. 1945-46, Rao black hole theorem, all these different Rao ideas. I think the strong background in math, think about it, he has a very strong background in math. Maybe he was a gold medalist in math, the master's degree in math. So he had all the mathematical tools, which are absolutely necessary to do well in stat. Statistics, দুটো component, একটা applied stat, একটা theory of stat. So applied statistics is one area, but theory of stat is not math. Dr. Rao was very good in that. Real analysis, complex analysis, matrix analysis. He's the father of it. So good. He could play with that mathematical ideas. But of course, you need to have intuition also. You have the intuition also. What kind of problems in statistics should try to solve, and what are the tools I need? Because he was, at very tender age of only 24, 1944, they came up with the brilliant idea of the Rao-Cramer inequality, which of course is story now, and all the other ideas. So he had a very early start, solid start, and immediately he came into, naturally, PCM, C.R. Rao is not just C.R. Rao is not just a young, fresh master, he's a genius. So a professor was, he could see immediately, yes, we have a genius now. So the loss of R.C. Bose, S.N. Roy, very well compensated by, by the presence of C.R. Rao, and of the slowly, PCM বললেন ডক্টর রাওকে, বলে C.R. তুমি চলে যাও, সোজা একেবারে ফিশারের কাছে গিয়ে ওখানে গিয়ে PhD করো. That's what he did. That's what Rao did. He went to Fisher's place, laboratory. Yeah? He got his PhD and he came back. So we are grateful to C.R. Rao also. After getting his PhD, he could have stayed back, or he could have definitely stayed back. He could have tried, and he could have tried. Okay, why not? Let me try US, because that was in the 50s, early 50s. Settled in. He could have come here. He could have settled. He didn't do that. We're really thankful to Dr. Rao. He chose to return to India. He did. He joined the Indian Statistical Institute and started what used to be called RTS. Jarina Podbojar mone ache kina, Research and Training School, RTS. That's a branch of ISI dealing with theory of research and training school. You do research and you train the next generation of statisticians. RTS. It's a nice building. When I joined in 71, I joined ISI RTS group, Research and Training School, 1972. Anyway, so PCM started RTS. C.R. Rao ke bollen, you are in charge of, you are the director of RTS. There's a director of ISI, PCM, but here is RTS, Research and Training School. You are all in all. You can recruit, new recruits. You can train them, research. So Dr. Rao had free hand. That's very nice. Free hand. You do whatever you want to do. Here's the money, and luckily for us, PCM was very close to Nehru also, the Nehru family. She was able to get a lot of money for ISI from the central government. We call it the US federal government. Central government, he was able to get a lot of money. But of course, he was one of the members of the very first planning commission. So everything, and ISI was very much in the planning then. So that the money was not an issue, and C.R. Rao had free hands. So Dr. Rao was able to do so much for himself and also for the institute. Because of PCM's visioner jonne, India really had a head start. No wonder. And this is my point to the students, in fact, for all of you. Americate hundreds and thousands of Indian statisticians. I'm proud to say many of them are Bengalis also. Anyway, খুব প্রচুর Indian statistician, outstanding Indian statistician. দেশে তোমরা যেমন আছো, ফ্যাকাল্টি যারা আছো, বাইরেও তেমনি বিশাল একটা গ্রুপ। আমার ডিপার্টমেন্টই আমরা চারজন, দুজন বাঙালি আর দুজন টোটাল চারজন আমরা ইন্ডিয়ান, অল কানেক্টেড ISI. Indian statisticians, they play a big role in US, in academia, in the industries, pharmaceutical industries, and it's all due to our salute to PCM of this National Statistics Day. Cannot say enough about him. So let me move on to the next slide now. Yeah, please take it. You know, when I think this is for the students. So you should be curious to know, like you are getting trained from your teachers, like Dr. Pal is teaching you, and you have other faculty also. You should be curious to know who taught them. So I was curious myself, like my teachers, who are their teachers? So from that point of view, I'm flashing it here. So you should know, at least my students should know who trained me. This is really, it's important to know who trained, like the parampara, right? The parampara. So 1962, at the tender age of, I cannot believe that, at the tender age of 16 only, I was born in 1946, myself and my twin brother, Vikas Sinha. We were born in 1946. In 1962, at the tender age of 16, almost 60 years back, looks like the other day, we studied statistics honors, Ashutosh College. It was relatively a new department of statistics. আমাদের অধ্যাপক ছিলেন শৈলেশ ভূষণ চৌধুরী, SBC. বাদিকের পিকচারটা শৈলেশ ভূষণ চৌধুরী, হেড অফ দি ডিপার্টমেন্ট অফ স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স। উনি প্রচন্ড ভালো শিক্ষক ছিলেন, প্রচন্ড কড়া শিক্ষক ছিলেন, এবং ছাত্রদের প্রথমেই বলতেন 1 নম্বর তুই, সবাইকে তুই। আর ডে ওয়ানেই বলতেন যে তোরা সব গাধার দল, কিচ্ছু জানিস না। পদ্মজা আমাকে এবং বিকাশ স্যারকে উনি বলেছেন প্রথম দিনেই, তোমরা সব গর্ধবের দল, কিচ্ছু জানো না, ভালো করে 3 বছর থাকবে, ভালো করে শেখো। Then he looked at us, twin brothers. অনেক খুব ভালো, এবারের ব্যাচটা তো খুব ভালো, জোড়া গর্ধব পেয়েছি। এবারে ব্যাচটা তো খুব ভালো, দাদা সবাই আছে, তার ভেতরে একটা জোড়া গাধা পেয়ে গেলাম। বা আমাদের বলুন তোদের নাম কিরে? আমরা বলুন স্যার বিমল বিকাশ। জোড়া গাধা, তো ভালো করে বলি দেবো তোদের। Kind of funny, but he was a great teacher. Every day I remember SBC. Every day. 62, 65, 3 বছরে উনি আমাদের স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স যেটা পড়ালেন হাতে করে, কি অপূর্ব পড়ান। He was the best teacher in the department. Not only in the department, I think back at the undergraduate level, he was the best. তখন তো স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স মাত্র তিনটে কলেজে পড়ানো হতো, প্রেসিডেন্সি, আশুতোষ, নরেন্দ্রপুর, মাত্র এই 3টে জায়গায়। এখন তো অনেক কলেজে। এনিওয়ে, তো ডক্টর চৌধুরী আমাদের পড়েন, একেবারে নিজে হাতে গড়ে আমাদের দুভাইকে মানুষ করলেন, যার ফলে আমরা যখন পরে মাস্টার্স করতে গেলাম 65, 67, ডান দিকের পিকচারটা অধ্যাপক হরিকিঙ্কর নন্দী, who was a classmate of C.R. Rao, 1941-43 ব্যাচের, ক্যালকাটা ইউনিভার্সিটি ফার্স্ট ব্যাচের মাস্টার্স প্রফেসর হরিকিঙ্কর নন্দী। উনি আমাদের পড়ালেন, অবশ্যই উনি আমাদের থিসিস অ্যাডভাইস। আমার এবং বিকাশের, আমাদের একাডেমিক ফাদার্স, একাডেমিক গুরু ডিরেক্টলি। প্রথমে 3 বছর ডক্টর চৌধুরী, পরে মাস্টার্স অ্যান্ড PhD পুরোটাই প্রফেসর নন্দীর আন্ডার, হরিকিঙ্কর। ন্যাশনাল স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স ডেতে দুজনকেই প্রস্তুত করেন। এটা খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং যে C.R. রাও Professor Nandi classmates. Dr. Rao, of course, ISI, all his life, ISI. That is in Bharanagar, Calcutta, or Professor Nandi, Calcutta University, yes, so South, South Kolkata, primarily, Balganj area. So they rarely saw each other, They rarely saw each other. I remember one time, 1969 or 1970, Indian Science Congress, she was Kolkata holo. So one time I saw ইন্ডিয়ান সায়েন্স, আমরা তখন রিসার্চ স্কলার্স, আমরাও গেছি, গিয়ে দেখলাম একদিক থেকে আসছেন সিআর রাও, একদিক থেকে বিশাল ক্রাউড, ওখানে স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স সেশন, এখানে একদিক থেকে ডক্টর রাও এলেন, একদিক থেকে নন্দী এলেন, অনেক দিন বাদে, আই এম শিওর দে মাস্ট হ্যাভ মেট দেন আফটার এ লং টাইম, দুজনে এসে প্রথমে নমস্কার, দেন দে এমব্রেসড ইচ আদার। তখনকার যদি এই ছবিটা থাকতো না, কি অপূর্ব একটা ডিভাইন পিকচার করতে পারতো। তখন তো সব ক্যামেরার কোনো ব্যাপার নাই, কি সুন্দর একটা ছবি ওটা। সিআর রাও and নন্দী not only meeting, they are just embracing each other like old friends, classmates, they are holding hands. What a nice, আমরা তো তখন ছাত্র, দূর থেকে আমরা দেখলাম। Next slide, please. Thank you. So really, probably next, whatever, 45 or 50 minutes or 1 hour, আমি এইটার উপরেই Dr. Rao, spanning more than 100 years now, birth centenary now. She was born on September 10, 1920. So last year we celebrated this birth centenary, still going on, very global celebration. পৃথিবীর বিভিন্ন জায়গাতে, ইনক্লুডিং ইউএস এর অবশ্য বিভিন্ন ইউনিভার্সিটিতে হয়েছিল। সেই ব্যাপারেই আমি একটু বলতে চাই। 100 বছরের উপরে লাইফ, ন্যাচারালি 40-45 মিনিটে তো জাস্ট কিছুটা আইডিয়াস the word. Come on. I'll be right back. I'll be back in one. Just give me maybe 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
স্যার আমাদের কিছুক্ষণ সময় চেয়ে নিয়েছেন, 1 মিনিট পরই স্যার জয়েন করবেন।
মলয় কি হলো?
স্যার আমাদের কিছু সময় চেয়েছেন, স্যার এক্ষুনি জয়েন করছেন,
ও
1 মিনিটের মধ্যে।
আচ্ছা।
All right, I'm back. Thank you for being patient. Okay, all right. Turn on my video. Okay, all right. Dr. Kipling, next slide, please. Good. All right. So I'm going to do a little bit of the highlights of Shiara's life. And of course, I was fortunate to be his colleague for about 6 years. So I'll give you some direct interaction with Dr. Rao. And I will also mention how, of course, Dr. Rao he worked in many areas, One particular area is the last sample theory. We call it the asymptotic theory, kind of fancy name, last sample theory. So I'll mention briefly how Dr. Rao's work on asymptotic theory, how that inspired me how it motivated me during my early days as a statistician in the 70s and 80s, how it motivated me to work on this particular. It's a very hard topic, but I was motivated by Dr. Rao's work, fundamental work, and that inspired me to make some contributions in this field. All right, next slide, please. Okay, in summer of 2016, my twin brother Vikas Sinha, this is Vikas is here, and I made it a point to visit Dr. Rao. Dr. Rao was also in 2016, you can see he was very, very old. He was like 96. And he still stays with his daughter in the city of Buffalo. Buffalo is a small town in the state of New York. She's about 1 hour drive, 1 hour flight, 1 hour by air from Baltimore. I live in Baltimore. So Vikas and I decided that we must make it a point. We both know Dr. Rao very well and very closely. Because, of course, he taught at the Indian Statistical Institute since 1980, until he retired, so for a long time. So I've been very close to Dr. Rao. So we decided to visit Dr. Rao at his residence. So in summer of 2006, and that's what we did. We went to meet Dr. Rao, and we had very nice time for the whole day. So at the age he was very old, 96, but still he was very alert. And he could also work on his own. Now I hear that very hard for him to work now. He must be using a or whatever. Anyway, but back then he was still alert and And we also had another student of Dr. Rao, Kirti Shah. He came from Canada, from Waterloo. So we all visited Dr. Rao and we had a great time. And we asked Dr. Rao so many old questions, like about the Rao Cravat inequality, about the Rao black hole theorem. If you still remembered our advisor, Professor Nandi, and all this P.K. Bose and how about ISI, so all these different. We had a very, very nice discussion for the whole, for about 5-6 hours. Then we had lunch there, and then we left. So it was a very nice meeting with Dr. Next slide, please. Okay. Now this is a bit of family background of Dr. Rao. দাপর যুগে আমরা শ্রীকৃষ্ণকে পেয়েছিলাম অষ্টম গর্ভের সন্তান. And it is believed that eighth born will be destined to be famous. দাপর যুগে আমরা শ্রীকৃষ্ণকে পেলাম, আর এবারে কলিযুগে একেবারে হাতে নাতে প্রমাণ. কলিযুগ ডক্টর রাও হলেন 8th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, C.R. Rao, middle name is Radhakrishna, Kolyampudi Radhakrishna Rao. Radhakrishna is the middle name. So naturally, Ashtam Gorve's Santan. So no wonder, he was destined to be famous, and he became world famous. Maybe more than it was destined to be world famous. Think about it, 100 years plus, still living. She's a living legend, সারা পৃথিবীর কাছে একেবারে like statistics God. Okay, next slide, please. Here is a picture of Dr. Rao in 1931 picture. He's about 11 years old. Look at the huge family. 8 siblings, this younger brother, Ramchandra, right here. And, of course, a lot of his father, daddy, father, mother is here, and all these different other siblings, huge family, and Dr. At the age of 11. Next one, please. 1935. It's beautiful. I'm surprised that, for example, I was born much later in 1946. I don't have any baby picture. I want, of course, these days, all of you have, since you're born, I don't have any baby. So we are surprised that, that there was photography in whatever Dr. Rao used to live. And we have been able to keep 1935 and Yeah, next, please. Okay. So as I mentioned, after getting masters in mathematics from Andhra University, Dr. Rao came to Calcutta in search of something. There was no job in math. Think about it. He came to study. He came to Calcutta. Let me find something. His dad. Think about 8 siblings. So no way you can expect that your father is going to take care of you. No, you have a master's degree in math. Yeah, you do whatever you want to do, whatever you can. It's not that the parents are cruel. No, they're full of support and all that, but just cannot you cannot support forever. It's okay. So Dr. Rao came to Calcutta, and as I told you, he met PCM. Back then, it used to be part of Presidency College, Becker Laboratory. Becker Laboratory, Presidency College, and that's where Dr. Rao came, and he met Mahalanobis, and the rest is history, of course. And then the first batch, 1941, 1943, that's the first batch of Calcutta University. CART stands for Calcutta University Department of Statistics. So this is the birthplace of ISI, this Becker Laboratory. That's where the seeds are conceived. Let us have a stat department which will be called the Calcutta University. In fact, Calcutta University Stat Department, when Dr. Rao and Professor Nandi, they were students, they got their training in this building. That's the stat department used to be housed in Becker Laboratory. So that's what they studied. Okay, but the idea of ISI in PCM's mind, it all started in this Becker lab. So we call it the birthplace of the what is going to be ISI. They were going to be the Indian Statistical Institute. Okay, all right. Next slide, please. Then, of course, Calcutta University in 1964 or 65 moved to, and that's how I studied. This Baliganj Science College, Calcutta University moved to this, and the statistics department used to be on the 6th floor. There's the building on the 6th floor is the stat department. Next slide, please. Yeah, Department of Statistics, University of Calcutta, Baliganj Science College. So when I was doing my master's and PhD, of course, and later on also all the Calcutta University conference and all that. Even now, the study, whenever I go to Calcutta, of course, naturally I visit. They're very close to my house, so I visit the stat department. It's very fond place, very memorable. Lot of memories here in this stat department. Okay, all right. Next one, please. And then Dr. Rao, after struggling initially and so on, finally, yes, he came to Calcutta. He joined as, first as the number punching and all that. Then after his master's, he went to Cambridge. Then got his PhD, came back. Now he's a regular faculty at ISI Calcutta. The building is there, everything is there. Then he became the director of the Research and Training School. Next one, please. Yeah, there's the main building of RTS, Research and Training School. When I joined in 71, I joined RTS as a junior faculty, and this is a beautiful building here. ISI Calcutta. Okay, so we call it naturally. If you look at the map of India, statistics learning, central. Of course, now there are many universities, many departments, but this I would say the place which used to be the center of statistical training and research. Lot of outstanding statisticians came out of this. But this came out of ISI, came out of this through RTS. Okay, all right, next one, please. This is the library building, ISI Calcutta. So you can imagine that how many hours I spent because all the statisticians who studied and who got out of ISI, how many hours we spent at this library, how many hours Dr. Rao spent in this library. John Ghosh, P.K. Sen, all these famous statisticians. How many hours we spend in this library? And of course, I'm sure that some of the students who studied there, they also spent time there. Next one, please. Yeah. So what happened? So Dr. Rao was in Of course, he was in Calcutta. He was the director of RTS in Calcutta. But some of you, I'm sure most of the students, you don't have no recollection of what happened during the late 60s, the Naxalite movement and all that. So the city of Calcutta unfortunately became a kind of a hot, we call it hot spot. And it was terrible, and Dr. Rao didn't feel comfortable. So we had, so ISI started a new center that was, now of course there are many centers all over India. That this was the second center of ISI. The primary center is still in Calcutta, and this was the second center in ISI, Delhi. So Dr. Rao moved to Delhi. Initially it was a small place, but now it is very. This is a recent picture. ISI Delhi Center. When I joined in 1971, I did not see Dr. Rao. To be honest with you, by then Dr. Rao already had moved to the Delhi Center. He used to come in maybe some meetings, but his primary workplace was ISI Delhi. Okay. Next one, please. Family. Okay, go ahead. Now, Dr. Rao, of course, he has a PhD, director of RTS, time to get married, start a family. There's a natural process for all of us. So that's when Dr. Rao got married to Mrs. Rajnavi Bhargavi. But of course, I met her many times. So Dr. Rao, Sia Ram Bhargavi, that's the time they got married. Next one, please. Yeah, some nice pictures of. Now she's an extremely bright, talented lady herself, and there's a lot of very, very, very nice lady. Okay, that was of course a long time back. Now, unfortunately, Mrs. Rao passed away probably about 2 years back. So Dr. Rao is now kind of lonely in that sense. He lives with his daughter. Next one, please. Okay. Oh, that's very nice. Happy couple, you can say that. Okay, all right, next one, please. Okay, Dr. Yeah, this daughter Teja, son Veer. Yeah, so I know, when I saw them, they are like this, in 1980, they are really small. And of course, now, both of them are big now, and then they are married and so on. So this nice family picture, Dr. Roy's family picture. It was taken, I think, in ISI. See, you might remember, Padmaja, in ISI, you have this pond. I think around this pond, we have a nice, some guest house and this and that. So Dr. Rao was a faculty, his wife and son and daughter. Okay, next one, please. Some fun moments. Dr. Rao was very fond of children, his own children and also in general, So that's kind of nice thing here. Okay, and then again now, of course, now they are slowly, they're growing up. Okay, next one, please. Yeah, so at ISI, of course, you can expect a lot of activities at ISI. He was the director of RTS, and PCM and the professor was still alive. So this is the annual convocation and all sorts of meetings you can expect. Okay, next one, please. Yeah, so this is the picture, very nice. Fisher, Cambridge University with Fisher here, and think about it. So they're just discussing something. This Dr. Rao and Dr. Rao discussing some data, anthropometric data, some measurements data. Dr. Rao is discussing with Fisher, Ronald Fisher. Next one, please. This is probably in one of the early Indian Science Congress meetings, long time back. I don't remember which city, but we can see a lot of Indians also. So may have been in one of the Indian cities. Next one, please. Yeah, Bartlett. You remember Bartlett corrections? Bartlett and C.R. Rao. By now, Dr. Rao is very well known. So there's a nice picture here, Bartlett and C.R. Rao. Next one, please. Okay, again, this is Professor Halden. He used to be at ISI Calcutta. So the nice, I think during this is Mahalanobis, Rani Mahalanobis, very close to the Tagore family, Rabindranath Tagore. Anyway, so this is a very nice picture. Next one, please. Rao Kramer inequality. Rao and Kramer, Harold Kramer. Beautiful picture. Rao Kramer inequality. You see, Kramer is slightly older than Dr. Rao. Very, very nice picture of Cremon inequality. This is the picture with Neyman Pearson Lehman. Neyman, he left Europe during the what time? He came to Berkeley. He was the chairman, Department of Statistics at UC Berkeley. Here's Neyman. So there's a nice picture with Dr. Rao. Neyman Pearson, remember Neyman Pearson lemma? Neyman Fisher factorization theorem. So we see all these people now. The picture is Dr. Rao. Okay. Well, by then Dr. Rao was very famous. Okay, next one, please. Rao-Blackwell theorem. Very nice. In one of the World Congress of mathematicians or statisticians, very nice picture. I don't know who captured it. What a beautiful picture, A Blackwell from UC Berkeley, you have the Department of Math representing US. C.R. Rao proudly representing our country, India. India and US. Rao-Blackwell. I hear that Rao-Blackwell theorem, they did not know each other, But once the theorem, then they met, okay, all right, you're Rao, I'm Blackwell, okay, so we have a theorem. It happens, Okay, next one, please. Rao-Blackwell theorem. Dr. Rao, very nice. This is in Amropali, which is Mahalanobis residence সেটা beautiful mango tree তে ভর্তি, খুব সুন্দর। আইসাই ক্যাম্পাসের মধ্যে, সেখানে ডক্টর রাওর সঙ্গে and the family picture. Dr. Rao, Mahalanobis and his wife, they didn't have any children. So they really looked at Dr. Rao as their own son. Very, as you can expect, Dr. Rao was very close to them. As a matter of fact, Mahalanobis 1972 উনি যখন মারা গেলেন, তারপরে Dr. Rao happened to be in Delhi. He immediately flew down to Calcutta from Delhi, and all the rituals, whatever needed to be done. So it was wish of the professor that yes, C.R. Rao should do everything. Dr. Rao flew down and he did whatever the last rituals, whatever the last things. So Dr. Rao did everything as per the wish of professor. Okay, so you can see father-son, very close relation. So PCM could live this world in a very peaceful way, fully satisfied that yes, ISI and the next generation of statisticians, ISI is in good hands of, able hands of C.R. Rao. And Dr. Rao kept his promise to PCM that yes, no matter what, I'll stay at ISI until I retire. That's what Dr. Rao did. When he was 59 or close to 60 years old, 59 or 60 years old, that is the formal retirement age in India. That's why Dr. Rao thought, okay, maybe I should do something now. But until then, what a nice, he really made a commitment or promise to his father-like figure, Mahalanobis, that okay, I'll stay here as long as I can stay. It's very, very nice. Next one, please. Right after coming back from Cambridge, you can see still the British dress, and very handsome, Dr. Rao, so giving lectures at ISI. And I've seen, of course, I'm in Pittsburgh, I attended some of his lectures. Very nice handwriting, a little bit of curly like this. Okay, next one, please. Highest civil honor, 1968, India. Next one, please. Now, 1979, Dr. Rao is 59 years old. Very nice. What a wonderful picture. It's pondering. Okay, all right, I'm 59 now, about to retire. I'm born here, born in India. I got my initial training in Andhra University, came to ISI in 1939, 1940, 1941. Had all my, I didn't know anybody in Calcutta, no Bengali, nothing. By now, so I came here, Calcutta. Dr. Rao was always very, very thankful to the City of Joy, not only to ISI, to the City of Joy. Calcutta gave him the right shelter, gave him whatever he needed to prosper in his life, academically, financially, everything. She was ever grateful to our city, and of course, to ISI and to the ISI administration, PCM, of course. So that Dr. Rao was very, and by then, of course, he, sometimes, yeah, I mean, he understood perfect Bengali also, so it's not a problem. So now Dr. Rao is thinking, well, and I'm 59 now, what do I do? So I think back then, that was the central government, 59, 60. And he served enough, you're out, In fact, my brother, so we are now, I'm now 75, so is my brother. But my brother, about 10 years back, when he was 65, he had to retire. Since Dr. Rao's time, it was 60, then it becomes 62, retirement age. And during my brother's time, it was 60, now it is 65. So about 10 years back, my twin brother retired. And in US, there's no retirement age. And I'm still working, That's very, very funny, So we are about the same age. But that's what happened to Dr. Rao. Dr. Rao is thinking now, what do I do next? Fortunately, well, it's not fortunately, Dr. Rao could have decided, to go to any university worldwide, or, stay back in India, do something, he could have done that. Anyway, an opportunity came to Dr. Rao to come to US and join, next slide, please, the University of Pittsburgh. So let me tell you a little bit of background, about myself. I joined the Indian Statistical Institute in 1971. I taught for 3 years, 71 to 74. Then I came to the University of Montreal 1 year, and then 75, I was at the University of Pittsburgh. So I was a faculty at the University of, before Dr. Rao's time, I was a faculty at the University of Pittsburgh in 1970. I was there for 2-3 years. Then I went back to ISI, and that's when I had Padmoja, your senior Devi, as my student at ISI Calcutta. That was in 1977. Anyway, so I was at the University of Pittsburgh from 75 to 77 for 2 years before Dr. Rao's time. So I was at ISI, and I came to know that Dr. Rao is going to join the University of Pittsburgh in 1979. So I got the news, and I was still at ISI. So I thought, wow, that's really nice. And I know the university so well. And Dr. Rao is going to join the university. Very nice. And the person who was instrumental to get Dr. Rao, Krishnaiah, P.R. Krishnaiah. There is a famous journal, Journal of Multivariate Analysis. In our field, like JASA, Journal of Multivariate Analysis. And Krishnaiah is the founding editor of the Journal of Multivariate Analysis, JMA. And he was instrumental, of course, I know both of them very well. So Krishnaiah was instrumental in getting Dr. Rao at the University of Pittsburgh. It's not that you just make an offer to Dr. Rao and Dr. Rao will come. No, Dr. Rao is very famous, world famous. So Krishnaiah had to make a very special offer. It was a very special offer, like a distinguished professorship that was offered to C.R. Rao. It's not that you just send him an appointment letter and Dr. Rao will come. No, it's not going to happen. And Krishnaiah knew it. So Krishnaiah spoke to the University of Pittsburgh, the department, the dean and the provost and the VC, the usual thing, and he was able to get. Then they looked at the CV of C.R. Rao. Wow, it's an excellent catch for him. Dr. Rao could have gone to any university, any university in the US. But, so he chose University of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh were very nice to him and gave him a nice offer. Of course, Krishnaiah. And Pittsburgh also had very large Indian community even then. A nice temple, Shiva Vishnu temple. So all these, all these different things, combined. So Dr. Rao chose to join the University of Pittsburgh in 1970. He stayed there until 1986, 86 or 87. Okay, all right, next one, please. Oh, it's a very nice, tense moment for Dr. Rao. I'm sure he's looking at some papers or maybe signing some letters. Next one, please. Yeah. So 1980, When in 1980, I left ISI for good. But this time for good, I left ISI for good. I came to, sorry, Padmoja, I could not stay and I could not teach you anymore. And if I stayed back, maybe, you'd have been my PhD student, but, it was not going to happen. Anyway, I left ISI in 1980 and I came to, at the invitation of Dr. Rao and Dr. Krishnaya. And I said, why don't you be more? We have been here before. You already know the place, know the department. They are trying to develop the stat program. So we are trying to build up the statistics program here, and Dr. Rao and Krishnaya, they are nice enough to make me, an invitation for me. So I left ISI, and so we became naturally, and then I stayed with him for a number of years now. So this was 1980. Dr. Rao was 60, born in 1920. So we celebrated on September 10, 1980. This picture is on that day. Celebrated his 60th birthday. Nice, by then many Indian students also. I think we had about 20 Indian students in the department. Think about it, 20 Indian students, maybe out of 20, 10 are Bengalis, Anyway, so we were all there and celebrated Dr. Rao's 60th birthday. Dr. Rao, in acknowledgement, in thanking us, mentioned that with tears in his eyes, he mentioned that this is the first time in his 60 years life that he said, in my childhood, we are 8 of us, siblings, 8. Who is celebrating whose birthday? Nothing. There's no, even the concept was not there. Maybe our mom will make some, maybe a small teaspoon of maybe pies, as you usually do, it's like that, or maybe nothing, So Dr. Rao, with tears in his eyes, he was very emotional. He mentioned that this is the first time in my life, 60 years, at the age of 60 years, so nice to see that my birthday is being celebrated, And of course, later on, the worldwide, everything is global since then, Anyway, so that, it was, I was pretty young people, I still had some black hair. It's all gone now, anyway. A very nice picture. I looked a little bit nervous. Then Dr. told me, Bimala, why do you look nervous? I'm not asking you to prove any theorem. There's not any question and answer session, nothing. Just relax, So I'll be smiling, you can smile too. So so that's the picture I have. So you can see a picture of Bimala Sina 1980. Okay, all right. Next one, please. Okay, now, a little bit, not so much serious, but a little bit of serious talk. What is happening now? We call Rao number 1, because if you have a paper with Dr. Rao, then you will be called Rao number 1. If you don't have a paper with Dr. Rao, suppose I have a paper with my brother. My brother has a paper with Dr. Rao, then I become Rao number 2, like the link, So, but I was, fortunately, I was able to, become Rao number 1, because, of course, number 1 and I was in the department, so we are together. So it's natural that if you are together in the same department, you discuss, hopefully something will come out of the discussion, So that was nice that we had a paper here. So I joined in 1980, within 2 years, 1982, Dr. Rao, myself, and another statistician from, at the University of Pittsburgh, you can see Indian, Subramaniam. So 3 of us, we wrote a paper. There is a journal which came out in 1982, the very first time the journal came out, Statistics and Decisions from Europe. And they wanted Dr. Rao to, to submit a paper, or they invited him to submit an article, which will appear, see, volume 1, very first paper, 1982, volume 1, and very first article, 16 page long, 1 to 16. So we collaborated on this paper, and Dr. Rao sent it to this journal, and it appeared. So that was my first. And later on, I wrote a few other papers also with Dr. Rao, but this was the first time. What is it? Nice problem. Multinomial distribution. You are all familiar with multinomial distribution. K cells, pi 1, pi 2, pi k. This is the multinomial distribution. And there's a little bit of an inference problem there, estimation problem. Actually, this is the maximum likelihood estimate. The students, all of you know about the MLE. So we are studying some properties of the MLE. That is the kind of problem we discussed in this paper. Okay, next one, please. Yeah, so at the University of Pittsburgh, this is the nice picture of. I did not know that the Pittsburgh was, the university was founded in 1787. Can you believe that? I was there, I was a faculty there. I never realized that the university is that old. And there's a tower here right in the middle of the campus. They're very nice tower. It's called the Temple of Learning. See that? That's the Temple of Learning. Next one, please. Yeah. So this is the picture of temple. Very nice landscape, Right in the university campus, we have other buildings, Department of Math, Math, Physics, Chemistry, Biology, and all the different buildings are there. Right in the middle, there's a very nice landmark, the University of Pittsburgh, that is called the Temple of Learning, TOL. But for everything, there's other side also, right? You have friends and foes, right? And to the foes, it is known as Tower of TOI, Tower of Ignorance. So that was the kind of the contrast, So people used to say, are you going to the Temple of Learning to learn something, or is it the Tower of Ignorance? Or you go there, you're still ignorant, you don't learn anything. So that was the kind of idea. Anyway, next one, please. Yeah. So when I was at the University of Pittsburgh, as a matter of fact, throughout our life, the Indian culture, the Bengali culture, same thing, So we are very, especially Bengali people, we are very social, very social. We love to invite friends, of course, Bengali friends, even other Indian friends, we love to entertain them, just invite them, make some meals and entertain them. So that way, my house in US, since 1980, our house has been really blessed. We have been blessed with the presence of so many statisticians from all around the globe. So many Indian statisticians, so many Bengali statisticians. In fact, we housed 3 directors of the Indian Statistical Institute, in our house. So that way, we are very blessed. My family, my wife and my wife happens to be Padmaja's cousin sister. So we are very blessed that way. That we are in touch with so many Indian and Bengali statisticians. So during one of those social gatherings, we see Dr. Rao is here, and Professor Krishna is sitting next to him, and I'm sitting right here. So I think I look like a kind of nice. I like this picture. I'm looking good. I'm happy, smiling, nice hair and all that. And you see, all of them are Indian, Indian faculty. So we had quite a few Indian faculty. Okay, next one, please. That was in 1982, and yeah, it's a very nice picture of C.R. Rao and the person who brought Dr. Rao to Pittsburgh, Krishnaiah. So I was very close to both of them. That was in 1982. Very unfortunately, in 1984, so tragic, 1984, Krishnaiah developed, very young age, he developed cancer. And in 1986, he passed away. So we knew about the disease in 1984, so we knew that, the end is near. So I was thinking that, well, I'm here with Dr. Rao and Dr. Krishnaiah, and then Krishnaiah's term was, natural, it was going to come to an end. Dr. Rao also was thinking, once Krishnaiah is not here, should I still stay here or should I leave? So I asked Dr. Rao, what should I do? It has been a nice team, team, Indian faculty, Indian students are a very nice team. So Dr. Rao told me that, Bimal, you are right. Once Krishnaiah is gone, then well, we can still stay and you can do whatever you are doing. Or, if you want to explore, you can explore. I can also see what opportunities are there. But Dr. Rao told me that for me it is not essential, because I'm already old. But for you, you are a young man, so you can explore. So I was very fortunate to get this new offer at UMBC. That was in the fall of 1985 as the founder of the statistics graduate program. So I made my move in 1985. Krishna passed away in 1986, and it's all one after the other. And the Dr. Rao moved to Penn State in 1987. So he left Pittsburgh. He joined Penn State University, that's in Pennsylvania, and Dr. Rao stayed there until his retirement. And after retiring from Penn State, Dr. Rao, and he was 90 by then, the university and the dean really Dr. Rao to stay as long as he wanted to stay and continue. Dr. Rao is number one. But Dr. Rao at the age of 90 decided, well, I had enough. So he retired, and then he went back to Buffalo to stay with his daughter, Teja. Okay, so that's how the things took place. Next one, please. Okay, I want to draw your attention to this picture. Let me ask you one question. I can ask either Padmoja or Rajastri, Rajastri or anybody. You can tell me how is the timing? It's already 11:12. I hope to continue until 11:30. Is that okay? Another 20 minutes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can continue.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I know that this is the pandemic time. You're all sitting at home. I'm also sitting in my house. I'm at the comfort of my home, and I'm sitting and I'm giving the lectures. No problem. I hope all of you are staying, safely in your own place, own shelter. So you can, if you are hungry, you can have a little bit of snacking, this and that. I'm not watching you, so you can have, get up and get a glass of water or tea and coffee and come back. Or if you just put your machine on, you'll be able to listen to me. You don't have to see me, you have seen enough of me, So just listen to me, okay? All right. This is one of my most favorite pictures. I'll tell you why. Padmoja, please listen. I am ever grateful, in addition to the two super teachers, Ashutosh College and Calcutta University, Dr. Chaudhary and Professor Nandi, the next in line, C.R. Rao and J.K. Ghosh. Jayanta Kumar Ghosh, Calcutta University PhD, a student of Professor Nandi, a few years ahead of me. I also worked under Dr. Nandi, but Jayanta a few years ahead of us. And between the two, so J.K. Ghosh got his PhD, joined the Indian Statistical Institute, became the director of ISI after Dr. Rao. He became the director of ISI. Dr. Rao became the president of the International Statistical Institute. After a few years, J.K. Ghosh also became the president of the International Statistical Institute. C.R. Rao, after retirement, came to Pittsburgh. Jayanta, after retirement from ISI, came to Purdue University. It's a lot of things in common. One more thing, the lot of respect. I've seen it myself. A lot of respect for each other. Although Jayanta, naturally maybe about 10, 15 years younger than Dr. Rao, but Dr. Rao, among all the Indian statisticians, Dr. Rao had a lot of respect and admiration for J.K. Ghosh. Why? J.K. Ghosh is no less. That's why. I've seen so many statisticians in my life, J.K. Ghosh, I put Dr. Ghosh, Jayanta, my dear Jayanta, we are very close. We became very close, like brother relation, family level also. Dr. Jayanta visited me and my family, stayed with my family in US so many times. And we talk about so many things in addition to statistics and all. So I put Dr. Jayanta really like my elder brother, the Pranam. Unfortunately, of course, J.K. Ghosh passed away a few years back. Anyway, Jayanta is very, very nice pair. They have so much in common. One more thing. Why Dr. Rao has a lot of respect for J.K. Ghosh? Because another reason, Dr. Rao had a lot of ideas, a lot of ideas. He worked in many different fields, a lot of ideas. And Dr. Rao did whatever he could do. J.K. Ghosh read all papers of C.R. Rao. All papers of C.R. Rao. And he could see, J.K. Ghosh, really, he could see the ideas in Dr. Rao's papers, all these different ideas. And he was fascinated by all the ideas of C.R. Rao. What Jantada did, some of the ideas he picked up, particularly one area, the large sample theory or the asymptotic theory. So Jantada picked up some papers of C.R. Rao, papers which appeared in some classic papers, large sample theory, asymptotic theory, and Jantada really wanted to see, can I do more on these ideas? He did. By now, by the time Jantada left this mortal world, he was the number one in asymptotic theory in the whole world. He started in 1970s. So for the last so many years, he worked, among other topics, he worked on Dr. Rao's problems. And he wrote one paper, one after another in different journals, on always referring to Dr. Rao's works and expanding and getting the ideas. So I'm so much thankful to. Of course, I learned myself a lot from not directly from Dr. Rao. I did something much with Jantada. A lot of papers I wrote with Jantada, and I learned a lot from Jantada. Okay, so Jantada, my pranam to you. I know you're not here anymore. So wherever you are, please bless us, bless all of us, in fact. Okay, all right. Next one, please. Yeah. Okay, so let me story here. So when I was a young faculty at ISI, later 71, 72, I see this paper, Jayanta Ghosh and one of his students. It came out in this is the Indian journal published from ISI. Came out this journal in 1974. So I thought that, wow, it's a nice paper, Janta's paper. What is the topic? Topic is the maximum likelihood estimate. I was wondering, maximum likelihood estimate. I know it, Silly me, I thought that, well, MLA, I know so much about MLA. In fact, I was teaching at ISI. So I was teaching my students at ISI about MLA. So what is this? I see this word, second order efficiency. Second order efficiency. What is that? Just so funny, Something, wow. MLE, I know MLE, yes. What is second order efficiency? What is that? And look at this, 325, 358. It's a very long paper. So I thought that I must read it. And Jantada was there. He was at ISI, I thought that I must read it. And if I get stuck, I can ask him, So I, and Shankar. So it's right next door. He helps in the picture of the library, right? So it's right there in the library. So I go to the library, Shankar series, 1974. I pick up a copy, take it home. I thought, I'll finish it tonight. I take it home. I finish it tonight. So tomorrow I'll return the book, return the journal to the library, and I'm done. I'll tell Jantada, I read your paper. Yeah, and I understand it all. That's what I thought was going to happen. Next page, please. So I see that among other things, there is a theorem, Padmoja, 1974. I'm reading a paper written by Jayanta Ghosh. I have a PhD myself. I have a PhD from the University of Calcutta. And I have a lot of teaching. By now, I'm teaching at ISI. I try to read this paper. Not a single line. So students, do not feel bad. I had a PhD and I was a faculty at ISI. I tried to read this paper. Not a single line I could understand. Zero. I thought, my gosh, it's on MLE, maximum likelihood estimate. I could not understand a single, whatever they're doing, no idea. I thought, wow. See, I'm kind of, I'm just out of my sleep. I'm just getting kind of sad, feeling sad also. I have a PhD and I don't understand this paper. And I've been teaching at ISI. No idea what's going on. So students, don't feel bad. So I thought, wow, so how do I know this paper? You know what you should do? I'm addressing the students. I start reading a paper. No idea. I read one time. I didn't feel like asking Jantada, I don't understand. What will you think of me? Hey, Bimal, you have a PhD on your faculty here. You're saying you don't understand? That is very bad, you know. I didn't want to confess. I thought that let me try. Tried it a few times. Nothing. Then what I did, I thought that let's see what are the references at the end of the paper. That the students should do the same thing. I went to the references. I thought that maybe I'm not ready to understand the paper because I must read some of the references in the paper. Next page, please. Now I look at the references. Now I see, yes, this 1975 paper, John Tudor paper, they're referring to these three articles of C.R. Rao. So I knew right away that John Tudor read all these papers so seriously, so carefully. 61, 62, 63. Dr. Rao's most influential papers in the field of asymptotic theory. These three papers. Wow. Fourth birthday symposium. This paper, this appeared in Journal of the Royal Statistical Society, Series B, and another paper in Shanghai. So these, I thought, yes, no wonder I do not understand John Tudor's paper. I must read. See now, see what is happening to me? I thought that I must read these three papers myself. 61, 62, 63, fundamental work on asymptotic theory by Dr. Rao, C.R. Rao. Then I spent sleepless nights, many sleepless nights trying to understand. It's not easy to understand, you know. Dr. Rao's papers, I spent many sleepless nights. And finally, yes, finally a day came. I felt good about myself. Yes, I thought that I must do it. There's no choice for me, you know. The faculty at ISI, PhD, and I'm not able to understand anything. I don't know. I was not going to let that happen. I don't going to let it put me down. No. So I took it on myself that I must read it. So I read many times these three papers very carefully, and I could understand. I could see what is going on. Then I went back, wrote a paper by John Tudor. Everything was crystal. Yeah. Now I yes, I said, yes. So students, if you don't understand something, go back to the references. There are some papers which are referred to. So you must know this is background. So I had to go through the background. Very useful background. You know, I mean, you have to do that. Very fruitful. You know, so I have to read all these papers to get up to the mark, and then I could. Okay. Next one, please. And then I was able to motivation from Dr. Nan. I was able to write a few papers myself. Look at that in 1980. Annals of Statistics, the top journal in our field. Annals of Statistics, I was able to write a paper with John Tudor. Annals of Statistics, in our very favorite Calcutta Bulletin. So I was able to, I had the guts to ask John Tudor, can I discuss something with you? I really want to, I think I understand what you have done. Can I discuss with you? And is it possible that we can work on something? John Tudor was very happy. He said, yes, Bimal. Yeah, I see that you have read Dr. Rao's papers. Dr. John Tudor admitted, yes, his motivation also shared those 6 but a lot of motivation from C.R. Rao. So myself did, and then I wrote this. Next one, please. Yeah, we are able to write a few more papers. Okay, all right. So, Dr. Kitwe, I think I want to skip a lot. Please go to the my car, Toyota Camry. I'm going to wrap up soon. Go to yeah, you can flash through these pages. Go to Toyota Camry. I'll be right back. Yes, take it. I'll be right back. Please go back. I'll be right back.
Hello, sir. We are not getting you.
Not getting any sound.
Hello, sir.
Okay,
Hello.
all right, I'm back. Let's see, I'm back. Let me,
Okay.
okay, all right. Yeah, I'm back. So the Toyota Camry is a very nice car. Toyota Camry, lucky car. Why lucky? Wow. What's going on? Why this car lucky? Lucky car. Why? Huh? Let's see why. Okay. Next slide, please. And go back, please. Thank you. Okay. So I'm almost done. It's a lucky car. What is going on with this car? Okay. It was the summer of 1987. So I joined UMBC in 1985. So it has been a couple of years. So Dr. Rao, by then he joined Penn State, but he was visiting Pittsburgh. And it so happened that J.K. Ghosh, my very dear John Tada, was also in Pittsburgh. They're visiting the department. John Tada was visiting the Department of Math and Stat. So I called him. I'm always in touch with John Tada. I called John Tada. I really want you to come to Baltimore. That's where I live now. I moved. And I want you to come and stay for a week, with us. So Dr. John Tada is very happy. We are very good, very close. John Tada said, Biman, sounds like a good idea. So I told John Tada, don't worry, I'll come. I'll drive. And I have a nice car. Toyota Camry, very nice car. It's only about 4 hours drive. So I'll come to Pittsburgh and I'll get you. I'll get you and I'll drive you back to Baltimore and you can stay with us for a while. Anyway, আমার দুই ছেলে আছে যন্ত্রদা ওদের একদম ছোটবেলা থেকেই দেখেছেন ওরা যেটু করে আর কি ভেরি গুড ফ্যামিলি ফ্রেন্ডের মতো আর কি আর আমার ওয়াইফও পদ্মজার দিদি যন্ত্রদা বলি আমরা যন্ত্রদা এরা বৌদি ভীষণ ক্লোজ আর কি সেদিক দিয়ে নো ওয়ারিজ না কোনো লজ্জাটা যে কোনো ব্যাপারই নেই আর কি যন্ত্রদা আসবেন থাকবেন নিশ্চয় প্লেস হবে না তো যে আমি গেলাম যন্ত্রদাকে আনতে না I see Dr. Rao, we are here. You're already at Penn State. Yes. But when I'm visiting Pittsburgh now, I hear that you are taking Joynto back to Baltimore. I said, yes, Doctor, that's why I'm here. Can you take me also with you? I want to go to Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. only 1 ghonta, Baltimore. But if you can take me to Baltimore with you, then my student will come and he'll come from Washington, D.C. and he can pick me up. I told sir, of course, it's not a question. Done. It's done. Whenever you are ready, we'll go. So that is lucky cars. Now I am driving this car from Pittsburgh back to Baltimore. It's about 4 hours drive. Beautiful highway. America to রাস্তাঘাট খুব ভালো সুন্দর পরিষ্কার পরিচ্ছন্ন highway. 3-4 multi-lane highway, no problem. And then, so this is the car. Anyway, in India, drivers will sit on the right side. In the US, drivers on the left side. So I'm sitting here, and John Tada in the front with me, driver's seat, and Dr. Rao অনেকখানি ব্যাক আছে ডক্টর রাও আরাম করে পেছনে বসলেন আমি এইখানটায় এবং জন tada সামনে খুব ভালো Dr. Rao বললাম Dr. Rao, the entire back seat is yours. So you can relax, you can lie down, whatever you want to do. And, so I'll be driving with John Tada in the front with me. So we may be talking a little. I hope you'll not be disturbed. We may be talking a little bit, He said, no problem. We may be talking in Bengali, naturally. I mean, I don't want to talk to John Tada in English, বাংলায় কথা বলবো. But yeah, you can do that. But মনে রাখো আমি কিন্তু বাংলা বুঝি ডক্টর বললেন আমি কিন্তু বাংলা বুঝি আমরা হ্যাঁ we know that, so we'll not talk about you. Anyway, now I'm ready. Okay. Now You should know, Padmaja, in case you do not know, I don't think you know that. For all of you, I'm a very, very bad driver. Bad in what sense? In USA, I've driven 3 million miles. Only 3 accidents. So 1 accident per million miles. And very minor accident. Why? See, I'm still alive, right? I'm still in one piece. Nothing happened to my body. And I'm still, same arm, same leg, everything. No replacement. But I'm a very bad driver in the sense that I drive because this rasta khub bhalo. I drive very fast. It's a problem. If the speed limit is 60 miles per hour, I add another 10, 70. If the speed limit is 70 miles per hour, I add another 10, make it 80. So I'm very hyper. I don't know, Padmaja, sorry, in case you didn't know that. I'm very hyper, Maybe you can look and see how I'm giving the lecture. I'm very, very hyper, So driving also, I drive very fast. So my wife called me, Padmaja, your sister called me and told me that you have to be very careful this time. I know you are a very fast driver. I know that when I'm driving with you or you're driving with me, I know that my life has no value to you. So you drive very fast, you don't care. But now you are bringing 2 directors of ISI in your car. Please be careful. Drive slow, drive slow, drive slow. I thought for a moment that yes, she has a point. In fact, she has a very good point. After all, it's not just me. I have C.R. Rao, J.K. Ghosh, former directors of the Indian Statistical Institute in my car, So, of course. So what I decided to do, there's a speed limit of between 40 and 60. That is usually the limit here, So I thought that if it is the speed limit is 40, lower bound, C.R. Rao lower bound is 40. I thought that, well, why don't I drive slightly less than 40? I'll be safe, no rush, nothing. I told my wife that, yes, I'll be driving slowly, in fact, very slowly, below the speed limit. It will take maybe 6 hours or whatever. Say, don't worry, take your time and all that. So now I'm driving on the highway at a speed of slightly below 40. 40 is the minimum. No problem. আমি আর যন্ত্রদার কথা বলছি যাচ্ছি Now suddenly police car pum 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 siren police car পেছনে এসে দেখলো যন্ত্রদা আমাকে তো পুলিশ ধরলো বললো তাই তো যন্ত্র বললো হ্যাঁ তাই তো মনে হচ্ছে তোমাকে কিন্তু কেন ধরলো বলো দেখি তুমি তো দেখছি তুমি তো সাবধানেই চালাচ্ছ আস্তেই চালাচ্ছ তুমি তো কোনো স্পিড করোনি আমরা যন্ত্র তাই তো দেখছি আমি ঠিক বুঝতে পারছি যে কেন ধরলো anyway so I pulled and the police officer came. Even probably in India also, you are supposed to stay inside your car. Don't get out. Then you are in trouble. So anyway, I'm going to go police officer. First question, what is wrong with your car? Wow. An officer, there's nothing wrong with my car. It's a brand new car. Look at it's a Toyota Camry. Beautiful car. I just bought it. Brand new car. Brand new car. Why are you driving so slowly then? I thought your car, you have a junk car. That's why you are driving so slowly. I said, no, I'm driving slowly because I've been advised by my wife to drive slowly. Your wife. Who is your boss? I said, my wife is my boss. You are driving slowly. You know what will happen? A truck from behind will come and hit you and crush you. You must go around 50, 60. If you don't want to make it fast, fine, but maintain reasonable speed. 40. The highway is not for you. Then get out of the highway. Drive on a local road. You can do that. 25 speed limit. If you want to be in the highway, so I'm going to give you a ticket. I said, officer, I know I made a mistake, but please don't give me a ticket. I'm carrying 2 VIPs in my car. I said, wow, VIPs, who are they? I said, well, and then I introduced them. I have these 2 VIPs. They are former directors of the Indian Statistical Institute. The officer, the American guy, he said, what institute? I said, it's the Indian Statistical Institute. Then the officer said, did you say statistics? I said, yes. I took some statistics courses at the University of Pittsburgh. I mean, did you? Yes. I took some statistics courses at the University of Pittsburgh. It's a very, very difficult subject. I did not pass. Very difficult, But I heard that there was a very famous Indian person there in that university, in that department. I didn't have any course, but I heard about that very famous Indian guy. I said, yes, C.R. Rao, right here at my back. Really? Then the officer was so surprised. I said, Dr. Rao, and here is Dr. Ghosh. They're the former directors of the Indian Statistical Institute. And the officer was just so pleasantly surprised. Wow, we are carrying C.R. Rao. I heard a lot about some Rao. I said, yeah, this is the Rao you are thinking about. So, wow, okay, Dr. Sinha, no problem, no ticket, but I'm going to escort you until the state of Pennsylvania is over. I'm going to escort you until the state line, until the Pennsylvania state line. Until that line, then you will be in Maryland, and I'll tell the officer in Maryland, police officer in Maryland, to escort you from Maryland state line to your house. You are carrying two VIPs, so no problem. So what the officer did, he escorted me for maybe 1.5 hours from the place I was stopped to until the Maryland. There's a state line. State of Pennsylvania, state of Maryland. That's one state ends, another state starts. Like he escorted me up to one point, and then the other point, another officer came, Maryland, so I'm going to escort you to Baltimore. So now I arrive home, escorted by police. Now my wife thought that, am I in trouble? Maybe not only I'm in trouble, the whole family is in trouble. How come the police come? That was so funny, Anyway, so that was a happy ending, So that was the very, very nice. So Dr. Rao and John to that, all of us, we remembered that for a long. It happened in 1987. We remembered it for a long time. পরে যখন জয়ন্তদের সঙ্গে কথা জয়ন্ত আপনার মনে আছে? বলে মনে নেই, ওটাকে ভুলতে পারি। দুধার থেকে পুলিশ আমাদের এসকর্ট করে নিয়ে এলো। Next slide, please. I'm almost done. On September 5, 2020, the last fall, say about 5 days shy of Dr. Rao's real birthday, which was on September 10. So there was a global birth centenary celebration globally. You see, in the back, you can see all sorts of people are joining. It is a global celebration. I hear that about 200 statisticians from all over the world. I also of this team, as we all celebrated, and we wished Dr. Rao happy birthday. There's a little bit of celebration, singing, and all that that went on. And Dr. Rao, of course, in his Buffalo residence, and so without his wife, unfortunately, my daughter is there now. So Dr. Rao also at the very end, he, in his very feeble voice, he thanked all of us and just said something, And actually, the last slide, on September 10, on September 10, 2020, the actual date of this birth centenary, on behalf of the statistics faculty at UMBC, I'm here. We are 11 faculty. Dr. Kifle is here. And the ISI connection, Thomas Pathu, Nagraj Nitchol, Dr. Roy. We are for Indians. All we have direct ISI connection with the Indian Statistical Institute, Calcutta, Delhi, everything. And Dr. Kifle is here. Anyway, on behalf of the entire stat faculty, we sent Dr. Rao this nice greetings and with the balloon and all that. So that happened on September 2020. So I'm going to close now. Let us all pay our respect and salute to Dr. Rao, C.R. Rao, the living legend of statistics globally. Thank you so much for your. I'm so sorry that it has been late, 11:40. Thank you. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you. I'm sorry.
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। খুব ভালো লাগলো, আপনার গল্পগুলো শুনতে খুব ভালো লাগলো, শুরু থেকে শেষ প্রচন্ড ভালো লাগলো স্যার, খুব ভালো লেগেছে। আপনার যমজ ভাইয়ের গল্প থেকে শুরু করে শেষ অবধি সিআর রাওকে গাড়িতে কিভাবে নিয়ে আসা, সমস্ত কিছু খুব ভালো লাগলো।
And the story really like a film মতো আর কি। Thank
খুব ভালো লেগেছে। থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। মলয় ইন্টারেক্টিভ সেশন হবে এবার?
I'm ready if you want to do for a while. Yes.
নো কোশ্চেন, কেউ কোশ্চেন
হবে?
করেনি এখানে। It was interesting question to
Yeah,
ask.
actually, it's not a
No.
technical talk, so I don't expect any question. You know, you can just say
Yes, sir.
something.
Yes, sir.
Malay, you want to say something? Malay?
No, sir. I'm just taking
Oh, the
turns
coordinator.
talking
You're the
that
coordinator. Okay, that's fine.
স্যার
by
আমি একটা
forcing
জিনিস
me,
জিজ্ঞেস
sir.
করি?
Arun Mukherjee, you want to say something? Arun?
Thank you, sir. It was really a nice discussion.
And that is the whole idea. National Statistics Day, so we are really remembering a living legend.
স্যার
Talking
একটা
about
জিনিস
living
জিজ্ঞেস
legend.
করি?
Absolutely.
স্যার
বলো।
একটা জিনিস জিজ্ঞেস করি?
নিশ্চয়ই, হ্যাঁ বলো।
স্যার ছোটবেলায় যমজ ভাইয়ের সাথে মারামারি হতো না, খুব ভাবছিল।
Of course মারামারি হতো। মারামারি হতো, ধাক্কা দেখতো, তো একবার পড়ে গিয়ে যে মাথা ফেটে গেল এখানে, বিশাল দাগ এখানটায়। সবই হয়েছে, যমজ ভাই যা হয় আর কি।
তাহলে
Sir,
মলয়
একটা memory
বলুন না।
অদ্ভুত বলো
কোনো
না।
কোশ্চেন ম্যাম কিছু বলুন।
স্যার একটা মেমোরি শেয়ার করতে পারি?
Absolutely.
সেটা হচ্ছে যে একবার সেই শীতকাল ছিল, বোধহয় জানুয়ারি 78 হবে। তখন আমাদের সকালবেলা ঘুম থেকে আমাদের সিনিয়ররা জাগালো হস্টেলে। হস্টেলের পাশে একটা ব্যাডমিন্টন কোর্ট ছিল, সেখানে একটা বেঞ্চ ছিল, সেখানে প্রফেসর ডেভিড ব্ল্যাকওয়েল আর প্রফেসর সিআর রাও খুব গভীর মানে আলোচনায় মগ্ন ছিলেন, এবং আমরা সব জানালা থেকে দেখেছিলাম। এবং তার কিছুদিন আগেই আমরা রাও ব্ল্যাকওয়েল থিওরামটা পড়েছিলাম কনফারেন্সে।
আমি অবশ্য ডক্টর ডেভিড ব্ল্যাকওয়েলকে তো এই দেশে অনেকবারই দেখেছি আর কি। নাইস, ভেরি নাইস। এটা ধরো অনেকটা আমাদের, আমরা যেমন এই রামায়ণ মহাভারত পড়ি, কিংবা আমাদের ফেভারিট ক্যারেক্টার গুলো তাদের লাইফ পড়তে ভালো লাগে, আমাদের স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স ফিল্ডে এনারাই আমাদের কাইন্ড অফ রামায়ণ মহাভারতের সেই এপিক ক্যারেক্টারসদের মতো আমাদের স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স ফিল্ডে এনারাই তো গুরুর মতো আর কি। হ্যাঁ, যার ফলে এনাদের লাইফ আলোচনা করতে খুব ভালো লাগে।
স্যার আপনি দেশে এলে অবশ্যই আমাদের কলেজ ভিজিট করবেন। And Dr. Kifle also, please.
I'll think about it. Because তো গেছেন তোমাদের ওখানে, I'll see. You know, it's very hard to make a commitment. So I'll think about it. Thank you. Actually, কলকাতার আশেপাশে অনেক জায়গাতে যাওয়া হয়নি। ওরা অনেকেই বলে অল্প সময় হয়তো ধরো 2 সপ্তাহের জন্য আসি, 2 সপ্তাহ কিংবা 3 সপ্তাহ, প্রচুর আত্মীয় বুঝতে পারবো আত্মীয় যার ফলে সবাই বলতে যায় যে তুই কোনো, আমার দাদারা বলে দেন যে তুমি কোনো সেমিনার টেমিনার তাল দিয়ে এসো না, আসো আমাদের সঙ্গে সময় কাটাবে। But I'll try. Thank you. Dr. Kifle, I thank you. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your kind help. তোমরাও একটু থ্যাঙ্কস করো।
Thank you, Dr. Kifle. Please visit our college when you come to India.
That will be nice. Yes.
Yes, that will be very.
মলয় আমরা তাহলে এগোই আর একটু।
হ্যাঁ কোশ্চেন নেই কোনো, আপনি এগিয়ে যান।
Now I invite IQAC member, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Dr. Arun Mukhopadhyay, to give the word of thanks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Rajyasree Madam. Now, we have come to the end of today's program to celebrate National Statistics Day on basis on the life and work of Professor C.R. Rao. It is my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. Myself, Arun Mukherjee, member IQAC, on behalf of Triveni College, Raniganj, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our speaker, Professor Bimal Kumar Sinha, for gracing this webinar with his august presence and sharing his views. We are fortunate enough to have Professor Sinha, who is a legendary person in the field of statistics, We are grateful to Professor Sinha for his vivid discussion over the vast domain of statistics with his down-to-earth approach. It is encouraging for us indeed. I would like to thank Professor Kifle for his kind assistance during the entire duration of the webinar. I would like to thank all the participants of this webinar for their enormous cooperation in this organization of this event. An event like this cannot happen overnight. It requires enormous planning and bird's eye for details. We have been backed by a team of motivated technical crew and dedicated colleagues of our college who have worked hard to move this venture into a fruitful one. In this regard, I would specially thank our respected principal sir, Dr. Ashish Kumar De, and Dr. Sharbindu Vikas Dhar, coordinator IQAC, for their continuous support and encouragement, without which this webinar would not have been possible. I would like to thank the team IQAC TDB College for their tireless efforts for making this webinar a successful one. We are also fortunate enough to have our active faculty members in the Department of Statistics, especially Dr. Padmaja Pal Purokayastha, Associate Professor, and Dr. Malay Kumar Ruidas, Assistant Professor, for planning and execution of this event successfully. I would like to thank Professor Rajashri Dotto for hosting the entire program. I would like to thank Professor Urunabh Bandopadhyay, Associate Professor, Department of Physiology, for the warm welcome speech. Special thanks to our student, Ms. Tirna Majumdar, for presenting the nice inaugural song. Last but not least, I would like to thank our dear students. Their involvement and participation motivated us every time we take a new endeavor. I end here with a positive hope that this is not an end. Actually, this is a new beginning for us, teachers and students of different departments of pure as well as social science certainly will be benefited by this venture. Stay healthy. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
স্যার প্রণাম নেবেন।
ভালো থেকো সবাই, কেমন?
প্রণাম নেবেন।
আপনি ভালো থাকবেন স্যার।
থ্যাংক ইউ বড় হাত, থ্যাংক ইউ, ভালো থেকো সবাই, ঠিক আছে?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, থ্যাংক
হ্যাঁ
ইউ।
স্যার, আপনিও সাবধানে থাকবেন।
So happy to be here. Thank you. Okay.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
থ্যাংক
Bye-bye.
ইউ, থ্যাংক ইউ, টাটা,
Thank you,
বাই।
sir. Good
Bye.
night.
গুড নাইট স্যার, গুড নাইট।
গুড নাইট।
তাহলে আমরা শেষ করছি আজকে এখানে।
নিশ্চয়। Okay.
ঠিক আছে।
শুধু আমরাই রইলাম এবার। টিনা মজুমদার পুরো